Are you guys interested to know how the mass killers of all time have reacted just before their life sentence? Will it be moody to watch or happy, since they are punished for committing a crime? Well, let's watch. The first person we are having is Nigel Johnson. He was given lifetime imprisonment for 40 years for murdering two people, namely Tabitha Cruz and Omani Free. The damage for their families occurred during a Halloween party. 5 people along with them are also injured. Now the murderer is ready to hear what the mothers of these two, as well as the mother of one injured person, had to hear. Nija is forced to hear them in his orange suit at the county court. One of them says that she was hating the actions done by him. She also cursed that person who gave Nija the gun to perform the action. She concluded that she is very about Nija for not having a choice but to kill her daughter. The person, guessing that her husband, tells to the court that he was missing his wife a lot and the fact that she was not around him hurts him a lot.
I hate his actions. I hate the fact that somebody was able to put a gun in his hand. I hate the fact that he didn't feel he had a choice that night.
It's killing me. I'll never see her again. And I miss her a lot. She means the world to me.
I'm glad he didn't hurt more people than what he did. I don't think 40 years is enough.
He concluded that she is always a world to him. Very sad to see the entire scene. Her mother concluded that she was glad that Nija didn't hurt more people by the age of 40. Let's hope that Nija's face and mind might have been filled with lots of regret, and may God bless him with another good life in the next birth. Next comes Johnson with his orange suit. He breaks out in an encounter in Newburgh. He was just 18 years old when he performed this massacre. He opened up a fire game into a crowd at Newburgh. He just stopped only because his friend took away the gun. His face will show you how much he is ashamed of the act he had done. This was fueled by him pleading to the 2 counts of second degree and 5 counts of third degree that he is guilty. This was done instead of a 40-year life imprisonment. Judge Craig Brown was in his position hearing the murderers. Freeze and Tabitha's mothers started talking to the judge about the loving nature of their daughters. The entire crowd was hearing them sadly. This might have increased their rage for Nija as well as Johnson. Both of their daughters are best friends sounded by their mothers. Drake's mother told the judge that Cruz, her daughter, was 20 years old and she took a break from her veterinary school in Pittsburgh. She done this to nurture her brother who is having some health issues that he needed to be faced from after he was shot last year, she told. This shows her loving and caring nature to people, she concluded with tears. Drake said that when she closed her eyes, she saw her daughter fell after the encounter and Nija was just stabbed on her body like nothing had happened. Omani Free's mother now joined the talk. She started to remember about her daughter that she was just 18 years old and got an admission at the art school. She was very about singing and dancing and was a talented girl. Her parents are never a burden for her dreams. That's why they stayed as a backbone for her every time she told the court. Omani's mother got very emotional, falling into the thoughts of her daughter. She read to the court about her daughter, which says Omani loved her hair very much. She too loved her smile as she had white teeth. She was the most talented girl and happiest girl she had ever known. Now her words to Johnson, the murderer. She told him that she was ready to forgive everything Johnson had done to her daughter, but he should be ready to take the 40-year life sentence. She also told him that he should get a new life after the life sentence, and should be ready to turn to God, as it would give him a new life. Even though her heart was crying in pain, she always wished Johnson for a good life ahead. This made me remember the quote, "Always ready to forgive, but don't forget what they have done." Next comes the turn of Simpkins, who had her son injured very badly of the bullet that got into the pelvis. He is 19 and is a freshman at Mount St. Mary College. He had already undergone 2 surgeries and is still going through the recovering phase. The doctors are still not able to recover the bullet that got into his pelvis. She showed her rage to Johnson that he needed to be punished for his action. The Chief Assistant District Attorney, Christopher Borak, told the judge that Johnson smuggled a gun and he hid it in his groin and got into the crowd and opened a fire on them. Borak also said that when he was having a talk with Johnson, he told him that people nowadays won't be using arms to fight, but will be using guns for the same. Johnson's lawyer James Winflow told that the swift acceptance of his guiltiness will make his recovery from the case a bit complex, and this also makes the victim suffering. After the incident, Johnson apologized to the PAC courtroom. The mothers of the daughters told that they would forgive him, not because they wanted to, but because if the daughters are still there, then they would for sure. Next, we have a teen who is sentenced to a 20-year imprisonment for plotting her family's murder. A psychic evaluation is absolutely before the court could decide anything in her case. Her mother started to tell the court that she had appointed an attorney, but was rejected by the court, and the court itself generated an attorney for her. This attorney made her sign the plea deal, the plea for avoiding the trial imprisonment if she is ready to plead to the court that she is guilty. Just told in case if any of you are unaware. Her mother doubted of the attorney's motives. She also stands in for her daughter, stating that she is just 17 years old and will miss her graduation and her friends. Also, she pleaded the court for her daughter to have psychological help.
I seriously question my daughter's understanding of the plea deal or that she signed with fully informed consent. In addition, I question her present attorney's motives. Roxana is now 17 years old. She will miss her high school prom, her graduation, her friends, and her family.
The court now gave the opportunity for the teen to speak. As she started her conversation, she was filled with tears and words coming out from her are barely heard. She told the court that she wished to apologize for not being the child her family wished to be. She also promised that she will always get better, no matter what happens. She once again apologized and concluded.
I would like to apologize to my family for not being the daughter they wished I would be. And I promise that I will get better no matter what happens. And I will see Lucas and Angelica again. I'm sorry.
Next comes Esteban Caprillo, who was given a life imprisonment for the murder of a policeman. Parole for him was also denied, and the incident took place in 2005. A province police was questioning him for stabbing an 85-year-old woman. At this time, the detective went out for having Esteban with some water. This leaves behind Esteban and the police officer in the room. The encounter took place at this instant. Esteban grabbed the gun from the police officer and shot him twice, resulting in his death. He tried to escape through an interview window behind him, but unfortunately for the well-being of the policeman, he was caught an hour later. Esteban was very aggressive that he was forced to wear a mask. This will stop him from spitting and biting the people nearby. He got a swollen red face, including areas of cranium are red and swelled due to jumping from the third floor of the building. It was not his reaction that made the court surprised. When he was given a lifetime imprisonment, his family started screaming and blabbering about the brutality of the police. The FBI concluded for not using a large workforce for him, and he was heavily injured by falling from the third floor. Next comes Jacob Matthew Morgan. A 14-month baby died in a fire accident when the baby was with its 17-year-old Jacob. The court gave him imprisonment for setting his home on fire, and charges are made on him for brutally killing a minor. The police told that Jacob set the house with fire twice, leaving the baby brother alone in the home. Initially, there is no formal statements obtained from him about how he started the fire, but he later told the police that he hit a pillow with fire and then struck it into the air. When the judgment against him was happening, there are strong emotions observed on Jacob's face. He was crying, pleading the court for his action. He was taken out of the courtroom crying. He was then given an imprisonment for 15 years for killing his younger brother Joshua. Jacob's mother told the court that Jacob is having some genetical issues with development and he loves his brother a lot. Yes, the people surrounding him would have guessed the same. Otherwise, a person with normal brain functions won't show up a hand doing these kinds of actions. Well, the case was actually a shock for the court as well. So it's time for us to wind up. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Also share in the comments which incident made you weird. So see you in another video. Until then, bye.